What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 193. And we're starting today's episode off with some player training, and as you can see, Kapic has now hit 73 overall. I must say I'm a big fan of this young Bosnian left back. And also as well, Ivan Toney's shirt number has been decided by you guys, and thank you to everyone who voted in the poll yesterday, and you have decided he should remain as number 40. And I must say as well, If I was just doing this career mode save personally and not broadcasting it for YouTube, I would have kept him at 42. I think you guys made the right choice there. It's a record-breaking 40-goal season he had back in Season 3. He deserves to remind everyone, that shirt is his, man. That record is his. That's never going to get broken. I don't think I'll ever get another striker in any career mode save I do that scores 40 plus goals in a single Premier League campaign. And in fact, here's a question for you guys today. Have you ever done that? Have you ever had that in your career mode save? Have you ever had a player score 40 or more goals in a 38-game league season? If you have, let me know in the comment section down below. Tell me what player it was and how many goals he got as well. I don't think I'll ever do it again. When Tony did that, he cemented himself as a Docks legend. I think you guys are right there as well. He deserves to have that 40 until he retires. But still, following that, you did see two bids coming in for Wallace there, our Brazilian holding mid, now 32 years old. He did score, of course, a few weeks ago. A nice little team goal as well, but two bids from Hoffenheim and Leganes. We've got so many central midfielders here. I'm fine letting him go for around £10 million, which is the fee we agreed with both clubs. And for our first of two games in today's episode, we will take on Hull City here at Bramall Lane, coming on the back of our victory over Brighton on the weekend in our FA Cup third round replay. I was so surprised that a game away at the KCOM finished as a goalless draw. So heading back home to a replay, you guys know how much I hate cup replays in career mode because they take place during a really congested time of the calendar year in January when there's always so many fixtures to play, and it seems like the scheduling in career mode, as we know, is always so poor. So I really didn't want this, and I wanted to make sure we would get through to the fourth round minimal first. We did decide to make a lot of changes to our lineup for the game as well. We were 2 goals up just 90 minutes in and cruising to the fourth round. First, Locatelli with a lovely strike, and then Oliver McBurney. You have no idea how happy I am that he's still here at Sheffield United at 31 years old and still knows how to bang him in. Ollie McBurney will keep him until he retires. 2-0 to the Blades, and looking on course for a simple routine win here in the replay. And just past the hour mark, chance to make it 3-0. Goebbels rolls through Kieran Brady, and his shot went just wide the post and behind for a goal kick. It was still 2-0, and to be honest, it was all Sheffield United. Hull, the championship side, he played alright in the first game, didn't really cause us any problems at all until with 17 minutes to go when Blauch was played through 1-on-1 with Sam Hill and put it past our goalkeeper to make it 2-1 with their only chance of the game so far. And then 6 minutes later, Henriksen finds that man again, gets a little bit lucky as he robs Nathan Wood off the bench and drills it in, and in 6 minutes, well, Bramall Lane had gone from very relaxed to, let's just say, fuming. I mean, listen to the boos here at full time. I mean, they were absolutely deafening. Boo, boo, boo. And we've heard this before at Bramall Lane. The fans, they've got very high expectations here, and they had every right to boo as well because we were cruising to a 2-0 victory, and in 6 minutes we'd thrown it away here at home against the championship side. So extra time would commence here in what was a 4-goal thriller in 90 minutes after no goals getting scored in Hull. But in the extra time period, once again, we had looked a better team like we had done throughout the most part of the game here. And in the 110th minute, a great save by George Long kept the score at 2-2 as Hull were clinging on to a penalty shootout. But directly after the save, we got the ball back. McBurney took aim from just outside of the area and drilled it in to restore our lead and rescue us with 9 minutes to go. And I have to say, initially, I was surprised that George Long, who made a couple of great saves in the extra time period, didn't stop this one. Well, it turns out the reason why is because it took a huge deflection, as I saw on the replay, and it actually went down as an own goal as well. So very, very, very fortunate goal. Sometimes you need a bit of luck, and we certainly got it there. Goes down as an own goal, but we get the win by 3 goals to 2, and deservedly so, no doubt about it, but a little bit of luck to help us in to the 4th round. I had to feel sorry for the Tigers though, because they came here to Bramwell Lane and played really, really well, and in both legs, well, they're not really legs, are they, but in both games against the Championship side, they put up a really good fight, and I have to say, fair play to them there. That was a tough tie to get through, but we are through. We're into the 4th round, courtesy of a bit of luck. We'll be taking on Newcastle United, the Magpies at Bramwell Lane, and as we saw in the first 4 seasons of career mode, every single time we faced Newcastle United, Ivan Toney scored. He always wanted to score against Newcastle United, so into the 4th round against the Magpies certainly won't be an easy game, but if Toney's on the pitch, you better believe that the odds on him being first goal scorer will not be very good indeed. But still, not good for gambling purposes, I should say. But still, following the game, as you could see, we had some money left in our budget, and before the whole game, we did see that Nicholas Wilson, who of course was one of our academy graduates back in our first 4 seasons, had a bid accepted from Hoffenheim from RB Leipzig, and this guy now is 86 rated at 22 years old. We had around 55 to 60 million pounds remaining in our budget based on wage budget alteration, and I really wanted to bring Wilson back. Now, we didn't get to use Nicholas Wilson that much in the time we spent with Sheffield United in our first stint. However, in the games he did play, he played really well, and if your memory's good enough, you'll remember this guy played centre-back for us and not left-back as well, and was really good too. And to come back here at Bramwell Lane, we have leaked quite a few goals since returning that should have been stopped, and I must say, as we meet a £54.5 million counter offer here from Hoffenheim, which is under his valuation, there is a sell-on clause, but it's kind of redundant because there's no chance we're going to sell him throughout the course of the remaining seasons in this series. We agree a 5-year deal, 60 grand a week, and this is a huge new signing, but it's a bargain. It's an absolute bargain, because for 54.5 mil, it's under the valuation. He's only 22 years old, yet he's 86 rated, so he could easily get to 90 overall. And again, whilst he's got left back and right back as his listed positions, in my opinion, I think as a left-sided centre-back in this team, that's where he should play. It will unfortunately kind of make his key stat crossing 97 redundant. However, he's really quick. Physically, he's an all-rounder. He's 6'2". He's got some decent strength at 78. He's got good stamina. He's got a 4-star weak foot, 74 interceptions. Look at his defensive stats here as well. His heading stat is 93. He's got 84 slide tackle, 85 stand tackle. He's a good passer of the ball with 85 defensive awareness as well. Medium work rates, and again, at 6'2", I personally think he should be a left-sided centre-back as part of our back 4, and we should keep Luke Shaw playing left-back for now. And of course, at some point, as we know, Oliver Shaw will be returning, and he'll be our starting left-back. So yeah, the luxury of Wilson is knowing that all across the back 4, he can play anywhere. With the 4-star weak foot and right-back secondary position, he could play right-back. With his defensive stats, he could play centre-back. And of course, his primary position is left-back anyway. So yeah, what a signing that is. Absolute bargain. It takes up basically all of our transfer budget, but I'm very happy to have him back here, because we never really got to develop him the way I wanted to in the first 4 seasons we spent at Bramwell Lane, but now we're back, and he's going to be a key member of our back 4. Really happy to have Wilson back there, and again, it's a bargain, absolute bargain at £54.5 million for a player that's well on his way to 90 overall. Still, speaking of Shaw, as you could see following the signing here, we had a bid here from Villarreal wanting to take the former Manchester United and Southampton man to Spain, and we agreed to deal with the Spaniards of £23 million. And Luke Shaw, since we've been here, has done okay in the games I've used him in. However, we don't really need him now. I mean, we just got Leto, who the AI manager signed for us. We've just signed Nicholas Wilson, who might end up playing left back in this team. We've of course got Kapic, the young talent as well. We don't really need 4 left backs here, to be honest, so I'm totally fine selling Shaw, and I don't mind if he leaves to Spain one bit. In fact, I'd rather the cash, as he's now 32 years old, and 23 mil is a decent fee for him. Still, second and final game of today's episode as we travel to Vicarage Road, and this was going to be a massive clash. As we know right now in the Premier League, just 16 games to go, and Watford are right now the informed team in the Premier League. They sit in 4th place as they try and cling on to that final Champions League spot here in the Premier League, and one of the reasons why they're in 4th? Well, you saw him in the starting lineup. Scott McKenna, Scott the block. We know how good this guy is. He's leading Vicarage Road as their captain to the Champions League right now. But heading into this game, even though it was so great to see Scott the block once again, we wanted to punish him and get the win in this game and leapfrog the Hornets and go into 4th. First chance fell to us. Elliot Harris is volley going to wide the post in the 27th minute. Oh, he hasn't forgot how to fly into tackle Scott. What a tackle by McKenna on Harris, as it was still 0-0. So a very cagey first half, goalless. Only the one shot which fell to Harris in the early stages of the game. I felt the second half that we would see the game become more open though, and a bit more fluid in attacking movement as well. And just 4 minutes after the restart, we had the opening goal. And who got it for us? Well, you knew who got it for us. He scored on his second debut for the club last weekend against Brighton, and now in his first away game for the side, Ivan Toney gets the opening goal of the game, and this was glorious. Stops on a dime, puts his man on the floor, and then says to his former captain, "See you later, skipper." Does the same thing again. Stops on a dime. It's the most overpowered, can you call it a skill move? I'm not entirely sure. It's the most overpowered move against the AI, without a question, that one. Do it twice in a row, Ivan Toney there. Works both times. First puts his man on the floor, and then to his former captain, sends him walking before smacking it in. 1-0 to Sheffield United. The deadlock finally broken, and after that, it felt as though the floodgates were due to open. Just a few minutes later, Toney turns provider as he rolls through the captain David Turnbull for his 12th goal in the Premier League this season. David Turnbull has been thriving in my absence. He was appointed skipper, and I must say, I've got no plans to take the captain's armband off him. He's performing so well. It's 2-0 Sheffield United. Toney with the assist, and a few minutes later, a chance to make it 3. Oh, and Ivan Toney, he is absolutely timeless. You know, Father Time might be undefeated. I think there's one man that could possibly knock him out. Ivan Toney, he's just absolutely unstoppable. 31 years old, decreasing in stats, but he's heard all the criticism, and he says, "Do you think I'm washed?" Check again. Wonderful little chip over the goalkeeper, his second of the game, his third since rejoining us already, and an assist as well in a man of the match display. 3 goals in 14 minutes. Sheffield United put the sword to the Hornets early in the second half and claim a huge victory in the race for Champions League football as we leapfrog them and go into the top 4. Long way to go with Toney back in our starting lineup and still as good as ever. I trust that we have what it takes to stay in the Champions League places between now and the end of the season. But 15 games to go. Look at how tight it is. 4 points separating 4th to 8th. Can't take anything for granted. There is a lot of football still left to be played. But that was today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching if you have enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy today's episode, then please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode, where rumours the financial takeover might be completed very soon.